Okay, so I'm doing a video on streaming today, which if you don't know, you probably do, is doing this very quickly, or whatever speed. And this video is going to show you how you can improve your technique to becoming more powerful, actually be better at streaming. This is not going to cover these doggy techniques where you can do this on your keyboard, or if you have a rapid trigger keypad or this keyboard, then you can be very efficient and do these like vibrations. Or you can have a keyboard upside down and do this and you're pressing two at once. This video is going to focus on actually being good at tapping, right? All of these other techniques you'll be able to pick up more quickly. If you do want to learn them, you'll be able to pick them up faster if you have strong hands. So the first point is be strong, basically. Go to the gym, get one of these things or something if you want. They're really cheap. This goes for Osu and real life as well, surprisingly. There are very few things where you being more strong will be bad. It's a good way to spend your time. Go to the gym. You have stronger hands, train your grip or something. That is a huge improvement already. The next thing I'm going to be talking about is how you can actually start to improve your speed. Now there are websites to visualize this. I'm not going to be using that in this video, but I'll leave a link to that in the description. Start off with bursts, right? And this is a small amount of notes, maybe 3 or 10, whatever. All that matters is you do these 3 or 4 notes quickly. After a while, you'll be surprised with how quick you are at doing this, how easy it becomes. And what I would recommend, instead of going from however many notes to just more, try and do the burst and then one very shortly after with a small break. So do like 5 notes and then very soon after do another 5 notes, but with a small gap in between. This will definitely improve your like fast twitch muscles, but your stamina will be really bad at first. It'll be hard to tap that quickly. But surprisingly, right, if you actually look at the BPM, you'll find your streaming will get a lot better. When you're doing so few notes, you can tap so much quicker, just because it's that much easier to tap for a shorter amount of time. But as you do this more, you'll become better. You only care about 3 notes. That's all you care about. Just do that quick. This next point is going to be slightly controversial, but I believe in what I'm saying, and you can disagree, but I think there's some reasoning behind this. You should learn to tap with your index and your ring finger, right? Straight away you'd say, okay, what about Emmerich, Marami, all these people, best in the world, they tap with these 2 fingers, so you're an idiot. I would say it depends on your hand biology. The reason you'd want to tap with these 2 is that when you're streaming, you're doing alternate actions. One's going up, one's going down. So you want these to be as distant from each other as possible. As in the distance here is smaller than that, yes? If you have learnt to play with these 2, and you're very good, and then you don't want to learn with this, then sure, do that. This finger is bigger, and the muscles behind it are stronger, you get more power. It's really hard to get a very strong ring finger, it feels weird. And obviously everyone's hand's different. Some people have a very strong middle finger, and also some people, for instance Marami, the horizontal distance between these 2 fingers is really big. Like mine's fairly big, but his is like crazy. So he's almost got like 2 hands, like a whole hand for each finger, right, doing this. If your life was going to last a million years and you only cared about being good at Osu streaming, then I would definitely suggest doing this and this finger. It is better. Almost all of this boils down to you being efficient with how much you're using your muscles, what you're using your muscles on, and also getting oxygen. Oxygen is easy. Just breathe deep through your nose. That will not hurt. That's a good thing. But that's easy. That's covered now. And there's also, I'm going to keep referencing back and forth, so try and stay with it. But practicing and playing well are 2 different things. Practicing is difficult. You're struggling. You're making it hard for yourself on purpose. Whereas performing is being efficient. Practicing makes you better in the long term, and performing right now is good right now. It's good to be efficient, right? But if you're powerful as well, then you can become efficient and you've got so much more to work with that you'll become amazing. When you're streaming, the only important thing is one key and the other key. The natural nature of streaming is an alternation, right? So one goes up, one comes down. This is very expensive in terms of energy. Your muscles, they're doing different things, they're active all the time. This is why this is so much easier than this, even though the technical CPS is the same, right? Drop your hand and time it well. Then you can get good at this motion. Okay, you see what I'm doing? I'm doing this, but my finger is offset, and I'm putting a little bit more pressure in. It's incredibly expensive to go up and down. Doing this is horrible. If you can go down and relax in such a way, where you're only applying force in one direction, this is a lot more efficient. If you can like rest your hand high, maybe using your thumb a little bit. My fingers themselves are not flexed. It's my wrist which is keeping my fingers up here. Reset just by resting, then you will become very optimal. This is what I'm saying about not moving things you don't need to move relative to your hand. You can maybe try things like this, like locking your fingers together, and even using that. Like this is something I can move. It's like one big motion, and it's actually moving my middle finger as I'm doing this. Play about with how your thumb is positioned, how your hand's positioned, and get used to your hand biology. There are certain parts of your fingers, if you move one, the others want to move. Get used to that, and you can use it to your advantage. Now I'm going to miss on this first stream, okay, and then I'm going to explain why, see if you can work out what's happening. Way too early. This is something that is happening. Maybe not being early, but being too quick. Your burst speed is significantly faster than your stream. And if you see a stream that is a BPM that you know is fast for you, whatever that be, if you think it's fast, you start bursting. And the problem with that is, one, it's probably the wrong speed, because you're just panicking and doing it as quick as possible. But also you're going to tire yourself out. So even if it is correct, it's too fast for you. Don't be afraid to miss. Like, just try and listen to the song, try and actually know what the BPM is, and do what feels right. If you have to do this and then slow down, then it's either too fast or you're panicking. Now I'm going to do the same stream, same map, but I'm going to relax a little bit more. Even though this BPM is still quite quick for me. Probably too quick for me, actually. Try and hear each tap on your keyboard. And now this is something you're probably not going to want to hear, but because it's obvious, right? You want to be comfortable. Your fingers move from singles sent by your brain, and these are going through your arm and everything. You want everything to be loose. You can still tense it and that be the case. Like, my shoulders forward, my arms loose. It's very easy. Your wrist is the wrist is the biggest one for this. Like, your arm can still be straight and it's only a little bit worse. If your wrist is too far this way, then it's like biomechanically impossible for you to comfortably do this. And that goes for this way, this way, this way, right? You've got all these different axes. If you want to actually be good, you need to stream at the correct speed. You cannot be faster, you cannot be slower. After very few notes, you'll lose all your timing, you'll start missing, and it's hopeless. And instead of learning different muscle memory for BPMs, you should just listen to the song. And it's very difficult for me to convey this on a video, but as I'm playing this map, what I'm doing is really like trying to time each one. You want to be able to mentally split up the idea of tapping from one finger to the other finger. These should feel the same to you, if that makes sense. Like, it shouldn't matter where you are, your brain should just be tap, and then whatever one it is, and then you just go. And this is, I think, quite fun actually, because it turns the strain on streaming into your mental model. So there's a chance you'll need to go to very low BPMs to actually see each one. You can do every other one and do this pattern, but you'll learn so much faster if you go. And at high BPM, that's very difficult, but it will improve you so much more. So as I think I said, that's still very quick for me, so I'm doing a little bit of this doggy technique, but yeah, try and do this. Well, that's all I'm going to cover today. There is a lot more I have to say, and also to learn about this. I don't know everything, believe it or not. But there's a lot of other technical things about how you can position your hand and use your hand, and things you can think about how your hand's moving. So I will make other videos on this. I think it's very interesting to talk about. Hopefully it was at least entertaining. I don't know how helpful it actually is, but hopefully entertaining. And I do have a Discord server, which is in the description. So yeah, have a good day. Yeah, have fun.